Can you hear me at the back? It's fine? Yeah. I always wanted to ask you this, and I asked you that last time for the fantastic answer that I got. You started with one character which built into two characters which have to help out each other. Was this always the idea from the beginning? Because it's a very strong female role which we don't get very often, and it's fantastic. It's a first movie for Marton, by the way, so he done an amazing job. Yeah? And Heidi, by the way, she's a director, not an actress, basically. So it's an amazing amazing role as well. So yeah.
What was the first question?
Two roles blending into one and then helping each other.
Yeah, the story of the film was a long process. I tried to make it short in telling. There was these two brothers, a director and producer, who contacted me that they wanted my company to produce their film, which was I think a kind of simple story about a prostitute and a robber or gangster. And they actually had Heidi kind of talking to Heidi about the role of the prostitute already, and we knew each other, and we got into the script, and we found the character Iris, who was totally a side character, and we found her very interesting, but and basically got this idea based on their script, which was a totally different story. But then we suggested to them that let's make this movie, which they didn't like. So they went back to their movie, and we found a screenwriter for it, who also got excited about our idea. So that's how it kind of evolved, because the character of Iris was, in my opinion, much more interesting than just having a romance between a prostitute and a gangster. Yeah. It's yeah, and about female roles, I do agree that there are too little female roles around. So, and in the end, I see this movie as dealing with identity and how to find your identity and survive with your identity in the world. And for the purposes of this story, we chose female characters to talk about that.
Okay. Question for Heidi here. How was taking direction from a director here, man? Was it easy? Collaboration?
Yeah, it was very easy, and
bullshit.
I agreed with everything. Yeah, it was very good experience. It's obviously also my first feature as an actress, and yeah, and I totally agree. Actually, it was a great also story to those guys to combine us. I mean, unite us. So without those guys, we wouldn't ever ended up working together. And we both really fell in love with actually this Iris character, the blonde girl. So was playing there, and she was amazing.
Okay. One last thing. Raindance is about three extremes, basically, and the films that have to be selected into the festival, they have to be extreme in subject, extremely good, and obviously extremely difficult to make. I heard the story, the Finnish support and all that. Please explain us. I mean, if you think that in UK it's difficult to do a movie, hear this story out. Yeah.
Well, I can start with just simply that in Finland it's, I would say, impossible to produce a film or to get it even distribution, or there are no small private theaters. You cannot even show it by yourself, even if you want to. So if you don't have a support from the foundation, it's almost impossible to ever show your film anywhere. And we didn't even ask any support, or we didn't think it would matter. I mean, we would think like, okay, when it's done, we can, I don't know, maybe contact someone. Yeah, come to London. No, but that we could probably still have chance to show it somewhere. But that's the general case, like in Finland. It's like a one foundation, and even if you get like private investors from anywhere, you still don't get distribution in Finland. It's like really weird system.
Should I add on?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I know the whole story, but
I don't know how technical I should go, but basically the system in Finland is that the Film Foundation will not fund even pre-production until the production has a contract with the distributor. Which means, although the Film Foundation does admit that the distributor is never interested in the Finnish ones, not interested in anything else but money. So even though they know this, they have this standard that you have to have a distribution contract. Which means that, and I've got this explained directly from the distributors, is that the production houses go to or directors go to the distributors with a script, an unfinished script, and the distributors basically can say yes or no, or say what changes they want to the script. And that basically makes it very difficult to do anything artistic, in my opinion. And just by the nature of this movie, we knew that we're never going to get a deal from the Finnish Film Foundation. I mean, I met with them before production, but even there, I just wanted to say hello, and we're here, we're doing this, but no chance of getting any money.
Yeah, but even if I mean, it's just a shame that it's dependent on like few person who sit there. I mean, it's not the point like I mean that we're like we think like we made the best movie ever and why didn't they support it? It's nothing like that to do. It's just like a shame that there is like few people responsible of like what's being distributed every theater. Like it's really weird. I don't think it's the same everywhere. But of course, you know, films have to, I guess, make profit as well.
I'll open it to the public. Hopefully, any questions from the audience? Yes, one all the way at the back.
Excellent job. The last 5 minutes of the film, I really forgot forgot to breathe because of how intense it was. And I was wondering, with the ending, with the footage you shot, was it the original ending, how it is on the screen, or was there experimenting and finding the actual ending?
Well, yeah.
The ending is exactly as was written. Maybe just, you know, a few punches here and there pulled out. And well, there is this very small scene where Heidi's character kind of knocks the big guy over, and that's how she slips by. But it was just slowing the whole thing down. So the story-wise, it's exactly as it was written. For the rest of the movie, there was a lot of experimentation.
Maybe you should ask the editor here.
Well, it's been 1.5 years since we lost the picture, so I don't know. We did some experimenting with the finale of the film, and we were even thinking if we should stick with this open ending that was written. We decided to stick with it and not shoot any extra footage, and I think it was a good decision.
Yeah, who had the decision at the end?
I think we just discussed it and
okay.
We came to an agreement. In fact, while we were writing the thing, we had an idea to do this kind of sort of Hollywood ending where the girls are somewhere safe, raising a child together.
Sailing away to Sweden on a love boat.
Yeah, luckily, we didn't even write it.
Wouldn't get selected then. You know? Questions? Yes.
So how did you find the funding?
We didn't. This was a micro budget, self-funded. For the whole production itself, we used about 6,000 euros. That's it. Everything else, the equipment was very minimal. I don't know if there's any DPs here, but our biggest lamp was a 1.2K HMI. So we had one small little van that contained both the lighting and the wardrobe department. So it was a very guerrilla style production. And then we of course edited on Final Cut, so there wasn't that big of a cost there.
In my living room.
Slash kitchen.
Slash kitchen.
Yes.
I like the way that the two women ends up, you cut from one woman to the other woman various times so that it all connects together. Was that done on the script stage, at the filming stage, or on the editing stage? There's a scene where like she's looking at one of the women's looking at the window, and we cut to the other woman looking out the window, and it all connects.
That one was planned. There were a little bit fewer cuts between them in the script, but basically the idea was in the script. We kind of felt that after the first, because it's like almost 20 minutes of just one character and then 20 minutes the other character, we had to speed it up in editing a little bit, but the switching was written.
Yeah, I think it was a bit challenged, the structure, when you have like two person who are sort of equally there and the guy, so I think you must have had like, you put some effort on it.
Yeah,
well.
and in the end we also ended up shooting a few extra scenes, and also, I don't know if anybody even noticed, but there are two pretty long shots of Iris sitting alone on an empty street in the middle of the night just before the opening credits. I don't know, we added that, so that might plant the character in people's minds, but I don't know, it works. And also the scene where Mara is playing this cameo role, it was also added.
They didn't notice if you didn't.
But actually, the character, I mean, Iris, who plays Iris, Kristina, came pregnant later, and we had to shoot some more footage. And so in some of the shots, she's actually pregnant already.
Yeah, there's the when she witnesses the rape. She's,
yeah.
I think, 7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
At that point.
It's like, how could we shoot it like, don't stand like that.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the film, thanks. Did any research into organised crime in Finland, or it was just straight out of your imagination, anything like that? Because I don't know anything about the crime in Finland, whether that's rife or not.
I don't know how to answer that. I didn't go into any research on the organized crime in Finland. I'm from Hungary, and I've read a couple of books of not just fiction, but also fact books about organized crime from Hungary from the 80s and 90s, and kind of based the characters on them, and also gave a lot of latitude to the actors to kind of bring their own opinion or view to the characters. So maybe I should say that the whole script was about 80% done when we started shooting. So, and that was, I don't know if it was planned, but we didn't mind, because the whole filming process was very improvisational. And although we stuck to the structure of the script, and it was a really, really good backbone, but there was a lot of input from the actors on lines, and I usually ask them to not use exactly the lines as they are written, or just change the order up, so it was just kept fresh.
But I was actually born in this area, this gondola, what they're talking about, but it's like a suburb with a lot of crime, but
So you tell me now.
Well, I'll tell you. Yeah. I think it is, but I have never done any research, but I was grown up there.
I think our screenwriter, though, had, in her youth, had contact with these types of guys. And she took a lot of, I guess, she was always referencing her own stories when we were discussing.
She's also acting with her baby in this one scene.
Oh yeah, she's the one with the baby. A lot of cameos.
Yeah.
Any more hands?
No.
Yeah, all the way at the back.
Can I ask which scene you're most proud of and which scene you wish you could do again?
All of them. The thing is, the story of this movie is, I mean, I was supposed to be the cinematographer of the original film, or the original script that the brothers brought us. And even though we switched to our own story and we had a screenwriter working on it and we were producing it together with Heidi, it really didn't dawn on me that I'm directing. For a very long time. It's about 1.5 months before, because we gathered a crew for this locked date in the middle of summer that everyone was free. It was just a freak of accident that everyone was free and everyone was somehow very energized to do something. And it was 1.5 months before production started, or principal photography, is that we were sitting and casting the other two leads, Iris and Andrei. And I noticed that everyone's coming in and presuming that I'm the director. So I kind of had to go with that. But I haven't directed, I mean, I'm a cinematographer by original trade and I've shot 2 features, but I haven't directed anything this significant or this big, meaning having a crew, ever before. So by the second week of production, I would have been very willing to shoot everything all from the beginning, because it was just enormous learning curve for me. And which scene I'm most proud of? The fight between the women at Elli's apartment. That's my favorite, because it was pure improvisation and it took a long time, caused some injuries, but it's the most original thing I think in the whole movie.
Yeah, I think I had the same feeling that I didn't, because I was so involved in the process from the beginning, so I didn't really realize that I'm going to be the one who's acting. When the first day came, like, yeah, take your shirt off and, you know, go there. Well, wait a second. And, yeah, but I don't, because I'm in it, it's really hard to say, like, which scene is, like, most proud of, which I could do it again. I don't know.
Ante, would you want to edit something?
Well, I have to say that when I was editing, I was all the time wishing that we could reshoot the first bar scene, because they had chosen this pretty hard to do crowd scene and did it as the first scene of the whole bloody movie. And we spent quite a few hours editing that. But the scene, maybe the scene that I'm most proud of is that the scene where Andrei and Iris end up in bed. Because I think that's genuinely great acting. And we didn't also ruin it completely in the editor.
I also could add to this, if no one's bored yet, is that we really should shot much more documentary style than it's apparent. I mean, I know it looks really documentary style, but you can imagine how it was. There were no camera positions, there were no marks for the actors, and every take was completely different. I was operating the camera just because I could pull 35mm lenses on the fly, focus, I mean, so every take was completely different. We tried to maintain eye lines, but I mean, Antti really did an amazing job in just pulling the best shots and putting it together in a coherent manner. I mean, you had your work cut out for you.
Thank you.
I would like to ask just at the end, basically, what's next for you guys? And I heard from Heidi, what's the moral of this story? Your answer was different to his. So,
okay.
What did I say? No. What?
Which one do you want to hear?
Okay, well, first of all, I mean, if somebody would like to pull out the message from the movie, what would be your, what was your?
Well, the truth is that I think we try to marry too many messages and too many genres in this, and I'm kind of glad now that the film works as it is, even though you can't slot it into anything. And I would suggest everyone to decide for themselves what kind of message they want to walk away with. I know I had my motivations, but I don't think they come through as clearly as I wanted them, or do I even want them? Because it was just my, thought in the background that guided the characters. I'm not sure if that has to come out in the story. So I think it's up to everyone.
Heidi, by the way, you mentioned don't walk into the pawn shop. Yeah, don't get.
Yeah, don't go to the pawn shop. Where did that come from?
Right. One on final note. They are around here. You can ask as many more questions as you like.
Absolutely.
This movie has been shortlisted as a best debut out of, I think so, 27. There is only 5 movies. Can you hear me at the back? Yeah. Tomorrow there is in a straight competition with this movie, a Montenegrin movie called The Ascent, The Last Chapter, which is a Balkan misery type of a movie. Very weird. Check it out. Really good story. And just from my point of view, you should pitch this movie. I've done a movie for 6,000 euros, and it looks really good.
Yes.
Yeah, one more round of applause.